What's going on, guys? Now, Hush is the 2016 psychological thriller horror film directed by Mike Flanagan. And the film follows a deaf-mute writer named Maddie who retreats into the woods to live a solitary life, must fight for her life in silence when a mass killer appears in her window. This, guys, has got to be one of the best films of this year. It is just completely badass on so many levels. Let's get to it. Now, in terms of the story really isn't original. It is the typical traditional home invasion film, but one of the best twists to it is the fact that Maddie is deaf and she is mute. So you're seeing a lot of what happens from her perspective, where you can't hear anything, and it makes for a great, compelling, and a very tension-filled film, and it does so in a very great way. Now, Maddie is a likable character. She's really cool. She's likable. You can tell that her condition has made her feel a bit isolated, which I do think the film does a great job of establishing, and how it does affect her as she's trying to struggle to survive against this mass killer. Kate Siegel does a great job as Maddie. I really liked her character, and I rooted for her the entire way. Now, John Gallagher plays the master man, and to be honest, guys, quite a douchebag. He does play a convincing role as this killer. He does also have personality, even though he doesn't really too much deviate from the home invasion killer cliche that there is, but the guy is somewhat enjoyable as a character. I have to definitely give it to Flanagan. Even though this is a typical home invasion film, he does a great job implementing Maddie's disability while also making it quite interesting, considering the fact that she is a writer, which does help her throughout the film in a very ingenious way, I might add. The film also does a great job of maintaining that great tension where you don't know if she's going to survive or not, or what's coming around the next corner, even though it's somewhat predictable in certain ways, but it's still a great and enjoyable film. The score is pretty good, not really memorable, but it is pretty good. In terms of negatives, I really didn't have an issue with this film, but outside the fact that it does come off as the typical home invasion film, but it's still a great and enjoyable watch, and seeing this film through her perspective is just great, and you can see how she's trying to adapt and with her disability, and it just completely works. If this is one thing I said could stand out, was the fact that her character being different does make this film different, and I really appreciate that. So kudos to the director for this. I had to give it to him. Siegel is completely hot in this film. She looks great. In the end, Hush is a really good film, and outside of the fact that it does come off as the cliched home invasion film, it still does have great performances. It has great direction. The story is unique considering her disabilities, but Hush definitely deserves 4 out of 5. Definitely one of the best films of this year, specifically a psychological thriller. It does work as that. So guys, in the comment section below, let me know, have you seen Hush? What did you think about it? As I told you, I think this film is pretty badass and definitely one of those films that I am going to buy on DVD. So until the next edition, guys, keep those gears turning.